So next we'll have a fireside chat with Rear Admiral Dennis Velez, Acting Deputy Commander, J5 and MCPA Advisor, moderated by Brigadier General Reid Novotny, Director of Intelligence and Cyber Effects Operations for the National Guard Bureau, former USCYBERCOM Deputy J5 and MCPA Advisor. Thank you.
Is that it?
That
We're
is
ready?
It, sir. You're ready.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Woo! All right, I guess, Admiral Velez, you and I are part of the warm-up act. Thank you to the team, getting everyone going. It's pretty sad, or it's pretty good?
It's pretty sad that we're the warm-up act.
Yeah, we're the warm-up act for General Stanton to come on next, of course.
The real power. Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, thanks to the team for putting this together, of course, and you, Admiral Velez, thanks for saying yes to coming up here and spending an hour of time. For the crowd, I think we'll hit some of the questions you have in your head right now. I'm looking at some people individually who have asked me questions before, but we will definitely leave a few minutes at the end for some individual questions. Shout them out or go to a microphone or anything like that. So, boss, I'm going to start you off with a hard question, and if you answer this incorrectly, things are going to get harder from there. So, when you were the J5, of the deputies that you had, not civilian deputies, not like the vice commander like Keith, who was your favorite deputy?
Of the National Guard deputies that I had?
Yeah, exactly. All right. He answered correctly.
Thank you for that one. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
We're getting warm-ups. Okay, here's the next one. How many Navy people do we have in the room? I know, Chris. All right.
A few.
Oh, my gosh.
Great.
Half this place is Navy.
Yeah, even Josh claiming the Navy is good. Yeah,
that's good. Thanks, Josh. Way to back me up on this one. All right, you can define fun in the answer of this question.
Okay.
But what's more fun, being the deputy commander or being a carrier strike group commander?
I'm having a great time as a deputy commander of U.S. Cyber Command. Certainly, amazing opportunity and just get to work with some amazing folks. So yeah, this is great, Keith.
All right, that was the political answer. Yes, sir.
That's great. Yeah.
All right. So let's get into some of the topics here, and again. We have a couple of questions we're going to go through, 5 or 6 questions, and then we're going to go into audience participation, so get those ready. So obviously, the current environment, the cyber threat environment, is changing every day, and we know that the command adapts with it. So can you share a little bit about what the command is doing to adapt to those cyber threats out in the world?
Sure. I mean, I think I start by saying that it's great to be here. And no joke, I've been trying to come up. I've been in the command now almost just over 2 years, and been invited several times by friends and classmates that make it here, and being unable to because always things get in the way. But really happy that I was able to make it today amongst everything that's going on. Lots of expertise here, lots of experience. Certainly, a lot of folks that are much more knowledgeable than me in this arena. So what I say is, Dennis Velez's opinions, not sanctioned or sponsored by Cyber Command. But I will tell you a bit about what we do and the work that we're doing, and how General Hartman is driving the command to make sure that we can execute our missions on a daily basis. I think the number one thing, if you've been following not just the cyber arena, but in reality the entirety of the department, is that we can no longer assume that we have the edge on anything. That we always have to assume that we have competitors that are as good or getting as good as we are. So how do we, so that should drive how we approach everything that we do. And the command's laser focus on our 3 UCP missions. So certainly defend the homeland from cyber attacks, ensuring that the department has the networks available to execute their missions around the globe. And you got the guy in charge of that right here in the front row. And then the third mission, which is I think just as critical as the other 2, is to ensure that we provide combat power in the cyber domain, support the joint force. So at the end of the day, it's all about warfighting. If it's not warfighting, we don't want to do it. So be defense, be offense, it's all about warfighting. So what's changing? I mean, it's pretty easy. AI is changing the world across the entirety of all the domains. Today, we're not going to win a fight if we don't all come together. So, I'm a surface warfare officer, spent 32 years driving ships in the Navy. And I tell you, it's not surface power is going to win it. It's not submarines. It's not air. It's going to be the combination of, land, surface, air, EW, cyber, and space that's going to win the next fight. So how do we come together? How do we ensure that the technologies are right, that we're giving the operators the right training, the right capabilities? It's what we're focused on. So how do we drive that mastery of the domain? How do we bring best of breed from industry? How do we partner with industry, with academia, our international partners and others? It's all part of the work that we're doing today in the command.
That's great. I know you touched on a lot of things in that answer. What specifically is command doing on their AI strategy, and how is that going to help out the command?
So AI, I think for lots of organizations, AI is really changing. It is foundational to what they're going to do today and what they're going to do in the future. I'm not going to go into the details of the work that General Stanton is driving in the DISA doesn't work. But I'll tell you from the command perspective, we see AI as foundational for the future success of the command. We do have an AI roadmap that was mandated by Congress. We signed that about a year and a half ago or so. Which lays out the path for the next 5 years for the command really for the department to develop a plan and bring AI into everything that we do. So for us, at the tactical level, I see one of our CDMF folks over here. The commander last year shifted some tasks to the Cyber National Mission Force to say, I want you to create an AI task force. And I'm going to tell you, this is what you're going to do every 90 days. You're going to come back to me, and you're going to, give me a report card, on what you're doing to test technology capabilities, being best of breed, what you're not going to do, et cetera, where we recommend we invest, and then we bring that back into the command, into the department, and develop those capabilities further. So we are today, we are using AI, at the edge. Our operators are using AI on a daily basis. We are, bringing AI into our, back business processes. How do we manage our budgets? How do we develop capability? How do we free up operators from doing mundane work to be able to do their very, very high-end work? How do we analyze data? One of the, probably the critical piece, we got, gobs of data. I always hear General Stanton talking about the amount of data that we have. But what do we do with that data? How do we get it to the right place? How do we get it, to the right operator to be able to make decisions? How do we extract the right information? And what are those transfers, nodes that we're going to have to be able to get it from point A to point B? Where do we keep it, et cetera? All those are things that we're working to as we work this, AI roadmap for the command.
Yeah, that's great. So you mentioned one thing in the beginning about mastery, and I know part of mastery is doing things like exercises. Recently, Cyber Command had CyberGuard 25 TAC 2. What were some of the insights that you pulled out of that?
So I think the number one insight, and I think for my part, go back to, hey, we're not going to win the fight by just doing one thing. We fight as a joint force. This has been clear. When I was a young officer, we would, I would deploy and we would do an exercise in Indo-PACOM or in UCOM, and it was a UCOM exercise or it was an Indo-PACOM exercise, very stovepipe. Well, today, the chairman is driving the joint force to exercise together to ensure that, when the time comes, we can operate seamlessly at the highest level. So CyberGuard this year was part of the Pacific Century exercise. So we timed our exercise. There were four other COCOMs that also timed the exercise to ensure that we could put them all together and really operate, again, at the highest levels as a joint force. So we had SOCOM, we had STRATCOM, TRANSCOM, SPACECOM, CyberCom, and Indo-Pacific Command, all executing a defense of Taiwan like scenario against China. Some of the initial lessons learned, again, the criticality of bringing electronic warfare, space, ensuring that the time and tempo of those effects are coordinated with, the old classical, strikes, missile attacks, et cetera, to ensure that they had the best results and delivered the right effect for the commander. So this year, one of the things, that I think that it was the week before the exercise, the SecDev actually signed a letter designating General Standard Command as a sub-unified command. So guess what? Within like 48 hours, trying to figure out, okay, this new construct, how are we going to do this work? How is General Standard going to direct now the defense of all these networks, and how are we going to drive that? So as we were running the exercise, we were just coming with new ideas. I mean, one of the, I think, coolest things we did, we needed to fight, how do we defend ports? How do we defend electrical power distribution centers, electrical generation? How do we do that at scale? And we didn't have the right construct. We were driving this to our Joint Forces course to do it, but General Stanley said, hey, why don't we just create some task forces that do just that? So we have the Coast Guard. So Coast Guard, we have an MOA with the Coast Guard. Again, Coast Guard, Department of Homeland Security. But we do have an MOA where we can actually flow forces back and forth from DOD to Coast Guard and Coast Guard back to DOD. And what does the Coast Guard bring? They bring some great authorities that we don't have, especially in defense of the homeland. So for defense of the ports, General Stanton created a task force ports that was, commanded by a Coast Guard officer that reported to General Stanton to just concentrate on defending ports in San Diego, ports in the West Coast, up in down in Guam, in the Pacific. And it worked really well. It's something we still need to flesh out. We have some good lessons there, but certainly we saw that was a great use of innovation, of quickly making changes to ensure that that we are successful in delivering the effects that the combatant command needs. Again, criticality of timing. The Joint Forces Corps Navy, they created, they stood up a Joint Fires Integration Center there up in their headquarters in Fort Meade, which all the cyber fires are not coordinated from. So they're connected to the Indo-Pacific Joint Fires Center, and all the fires that they're calling out their absent tempo are coordinated through this node, and then they bring all the other components to provide their services when they are called to fire a cyber effect in support of Indo-Pacific. So again, that coordination, 2 years ago we didn't have it. It's a brand new thing, and the coolest things at the end of the exercise when we're doing our the last debrief with the chairman, that the DCOM in the Pacific say, really for the first time we saw the benefit of that coordination. The support of space, EW, cyber was critical to the success of the campaign they have planned out. Again, so high praise, and it just drives that that trust. You need trust, in a fight. You need to be able to trust your team is going to be there, ready to support you. And this exercise, the things that we learned, the things that we were able to show, the work that the teams were doing in support of that Indo-PACOM is driving that and just elevating the game even much higher.
That's a great question. So I have a question to the organizers. Is that really my clock? It is. Oh, gosh. So 3 minutes? Yes, sir. Wow. To the end or till we open it up for questions? To the end. All right. So we got a little fudge time. All right. So we're going to choose your own adventure at this point. We'll probably skip one or two of these questions. How about that? Let's get to what I would say most juiciest question, and maybe we'll have one or two questions from the audience. All right. Lots of discussion in this room this morning, all the time, about the creation of a cyber force or a cyber service. What is the command thinking about those things, and where are we at?
Hey, Reid, great question. And I think, maybe it's 150 people here. I think there's 150 opinions probably in this room. That discussion has been going on, I think, much longer than I've been associated with cyber. There's last year we did a count, a number of reports, articles, really like deep analysis that has been done in that subject. I think it was over 200 over the last 5 years on different opinions. I think at the end of the day, what we are concentrated in the command is to make sure that we get it right. Whatever that is, we got to get it right. The nation needs it. We have no time to fail at this. So whatever decision it is, we need to get it right. General Hartman just last month testified in Congress when he was asked a similar question by one of the Congress people there, and he's recommended to the department a SOCOM informed fourth generation model that takes some of the best practices in terms of manpower management. How do we train the forces that we have? How do we elevate mastery? How do we make sure that we are providing the right compensation for the skills that they bring to the table? So that work is still going on. The department will make a decision, and what that decision is made, we're just going to execute violently and fast, and we're going to go behind it. And at the end of the day, our goal is to make sure that we have the best, most credible, most lethal cyber force in the world, and that we're able to continue to defend the country and win in a fight.
That's awesome. And I do appreciate whoever hacked the clock and actually gave us back 7 more minutes. So we're right on time. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, good work, my friend. All right, so I have a couple of backup questions if the audience is actually quiet, but I don't think this audience is very quiet. I think Josh has already raised his hand. So let's go to the audience. Sir, Josh, you want to shout it out? Or?
You'll be able to hear me. I'm not worried about that. I'm Velez. Good to see you. In the FY 2023 NDAA, Congress gave authority for a Cyber Peculiar Award to recognize service members who have unique contributions to this fight, because generally their services are not going to recognize them with the standard ribbons. Only 4, to my knowledge, have been awarded so far. So how can the command accelerate the adoption and the use of that tool in order to really demonstrate to the service members that their contributions are valued, that they merit sort of exceptional notoriety in our community?
Hey, Josh, that's a great question. It's certainly no, I guess to tell you, there's no excuse for not taking advantage of something that we have to recognize our people. I tell you from my part, you and I had the discussion a few weeks back when you came by to say hi as you were walking out. It's something that we're looking at, and we're committed to maximizing the use, and we're going to again drive that and make sure that the components and our commanders are all aware that that's available, and we'll drive it from the top to make sure that other folks get recognized. There's amazing work going on every day in the community, and I 100% agree that we probably don't do as good as a job in recognizing that, and if we have a tool to do that, we should take advantage of it. I mean, I'm committed to do it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Josh. All right, who else is willing? Oh, up there, I can't see in the lights. Come on down. And whoever would like to go next can probably come on down also. We have about 5 minutes. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. How's the command evolving its operating concepts to deal with things like the advent of AI, as well as like ongoing techno-balkanization within the cyber domain?
Can you say the second part?
Like taking into account like technical balkanization within the cyber domain, right? Harmony OS, deviation from Android, and those types of things, creating these kind of hard to bridge technological, essentially terrain.
No, I think one piece that I failed to mention, I kind of just flew by real quick. The way that we are looking to attack that is by engaging with industry and partnering closer and closer with industry, and really bringing those folks in to make sure that those technologies are being developed on the outside and that are driving innovation on the outside are also implemented in the command. The other way is by developing ways to ensure that we understand where best-of-breed training and capabilities are being developed, and then we either bring our forces there to get that training and those technologies exposed to them, or we bring that to the command and we drive that at scale. So today we do that very good, in stovepipes. We have some amazing stovepipes of excellence throughout in the CNMF, Task Force Ares, in Army Cyber, in Joint Forces Corps Navy, in the Air Force. They're little stovepipes of excellence that are taking full advantage of these new technologies. Our goal and what we're driving to do is to export that and get it all across the entire CMF, and not just the CMF. The entirety of the forces presented to Cyber Command. So, all the forces that are doing, defense for the services, that have capabilities to do EW, et cetera, that we can bring into the fold, we're going to drive that action. So, our industry is where you find that.
Who's driving? If I could just, the first part I asked was, who's driving like the evolution of the operational concepts? Are you looking at industry to drive that, or who within the command?
No, so again, that gets driven by from the J5 organization as we look ahead, and I think the fourth generation model and how we develop the concepts for the future has all been driven. It starts in the J5, fed up by the work being done in the J3 organizations, et cetera. Also, what the department still wants to do and how the department still wants to mentor and organize is going to drive some of those discussions when new NDS comes out with new requirements for the command, new military strategies come out from the department. Those are going to drive some of the decisions to the future.
That's great. One more quick question. You, sir.
Thank you, sir. Captain Rob Moretz, Cyber National Mission Force. Sir, you stated that cyber, EW, and space is going to win the next fight. But my question is, what value do you place on information operations and targeting the cognition of our adversaries in the next fight?
Hey, maybe it's that guilty by assuming that that is all part of it. You cannot. I mean, when we look at our operations and the success of our operations, 100% is tied to information operation and the criticality of it. We're doing work across many domains, and IO, it is a critical piece of that. We are working to expand IO, and how do we get forces that we can do that? How do we get the training, and how do we marry the cyber with the IO? Which again, you can't. In my mind, again, I'm a new practitioner in this domain, but clearly believe that it just goes hand in hand. You can't be successful in cyber without the IO piece of it attached to it. So it's all part of the same.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Last question, maybe.
Mark Maddox on the report with the It's been name check for Pentagon, name check this morning by Chris. Operation Midnight Hammer, the command's in the name check. To the extent that you can you characterize what the command's contribution to the mission was? Use the characterization of the defensive offense. Since the operation was successful, there's been a lot of concern from DHS and other parts across the government about blowback from Iran in the cyber domain. Do you characterize in any way how the command is contributing to that mission protection? Thank you.
So, the command laser focus every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on defending the homeland. I go back to our 3 UCP missions. We are part of the Joint Force, and we are, again, very proud of the work that our teams, they do every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in support of joint operations around the world. Cyber plays a part in everything that the Department of Defense does today, and will continue to do so in the future. So I'm not going to talk specifics, but again, I'm very proud of the work that the team does and the team that they will continue to do into the future. As to the cyber threats, again, we are closely monitoring and cyber threats to the nation, and we will ensure that our systems are as resilient as possible to ensure that we're able to continue to conduct operations globally.
Time on target. Excellent. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. See, look at this. All right, now we have one more thing. I think at the end, I'm going to say thank you, sir, but I also know that we maybe have TJ, Chris, might want to say a thank you also really quickly. I think it's more formal than that. I was told it was more formal than that. I don't know.
No, hey, thanks for the questions, and I appreciate you all being here today.
All right, I'm behind you now. So, Admiral, based on your contributions, and thank you for everything you're doing at USCYBERCOM, and thank you for helping to continue to lead the community, what we would like to do is present you with the Order of Thor, which recognizes your achievements in this area and really is a continued trailblazer for the things that you're going to continue to do in this space. I also started my career as a ship driver and found out to be a cyber guy, so wear the SWO pin as well. So it's good to see more SWO brethren in the community. And with that, thank you, sir. No, thank you. Yeah, the medal's not authorized for uniforms yet. We're working on that. That's the next one. But here, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks so much. Good one. Yeah.